Hello, hello, hello. I hope you guys can hear us. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to jump on before we get started. Sorry we're a little late, but I hope you guys are having a good day. Somebody comment and let us know if you can hear us. All right. I don't see anybody yet, but I hope you guys can hear us. So I want to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me yet, I am Laura Page. I'm a veteran coach, and it's going to be me and Derek Jones, or also known as DJ, talking a little bit about somatic symptom disorder today. So a little background on me. I was a 10-year Army veteran, healthcare administration officer. And those of you who have seen me before, you may know that, but I'm gonna go ahead and let DJ introduce himself, and then we'll get right into it.
Yeah, hey insiders, how y'all doing? Just to let you know right up front, if you see me checking my phone, I'm just trying to keep up with the comments through the phone. So, but yeah, I'm Derek Jones. They call me DJ. Veteran. I'm a master coach with Laura, and have to give a shout out to Mr. Richard Sheminsky, man, the myth, the legend.
He's the boss.
Retired master sergeant, just living a life right now, trying to learn from people like Laura and trying to get better at this so we can help the vets.
Absolutely, and he's an awesome teammate, so I'm glad you guys are here today to hear from both of us. Hopefully we can give you some knowledge bombs and hopefully get you set for success with some future claims. So again, what we'll be talking about is called somatic symptom disorder. And some of you may not know what that is, so we're going to explain that to you. We're going to talk about some examples and then how you can claim that type of claim.
Yeah, so exactly. What is SSD? Let's define it, right? It's fairly new. I think it started in 2013, so not a lot of people might not know about it. It's as easy as we can say is chronic pain to your already service-connected disabilities, and that's the key there. You have to understand it's a chronic pain to your service-connected disability. If you're service-connected on your shoulder, your knee, and your foot, you can talk about it. If not, you can't talk about it, right? It's just basically also you can say is depression and anxiety due to your pain. We'll get into that a little further, but you know, if you miss work, you can't get out of bed, the depression that causes it, the anxiety of being fired, that's all with SSD. Just imagine that your pain that you deal with every single day. Here's the key to it. How does it prevent you from doing your normal life? How does it prevent your occupational and social impairment? I mean, that's basically the definition of it. Like she said, we're going to get into some examples of it. I'm going to try to keep up with some of the questions you guys ask as well. But yeah, that's basically a quick definition of it. And I guess we'll get into some examples.
Yes, so exactly like you said, somatic symptom disorder is how those physical disabilities affect you mentally, socially, and professionally. So, and it is considered a mental health claim because pain, anxiety, all those things are subjective things. So they are considered mental health. And it's rated on a sliding scale, just like any other mental health condition. And it's rated anywhere from 0 to 100%. So wherever you fall on that, it's a spectrum. Is what you want to find out so that you can portray your story. So we're going to talk a little bit about our stories. And if you do join VA Claims Insider as an elite member, you'll get access to webinars with us. He has webinars every Sunday, I believe, and mine are every Tuesday. I think he has office hours once a week, and so do I. So if you are on our teams, we'll get you set for success and really dive into the specifics of things like this and how to prepare your claims. But some personal examples, I'm going to let DJ start off with some of his because he's got quite a few things to talk about. So I'll go ahead and let him start off.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll start with my neck. If you see a scar right here somewhere, I don't know if you can see it or not. Life-threatening car accident. I was life-flighted, emergency surgery, 5 hours long. And so apparently right now in my life, I'm happy to be alive and grateful, but I can't look to the right or the left without turning. So imagine a nice cold night here in Pennsylvania and trying to wake up. You got that stiff neck. First thing that happens to me every single time is it just goes straight up to here and turns into a migraine. So how can I talk about that neck being an occupational or social impairment? Very easily said, if I can't get out of bed, I can't go to work. right? So that pain that deals with my neck pain, that it takes me a while sometimes to loosen it up, and I might be late for work. There's a lot of times where I've had jobs in the past before I was lucky enough to get on this team where I was at work and the neck stiff pain just kicks in and I just couldn't be there anymore. And I just couldn't be around work anymore. I just had to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to call it a day and I'm going to take my chances with what happens. Social impairment. Anybody that knows me knows as an athlete growing up, I was always caught playing all the sports there was. And with the neck issue, I like to play a lot of softball, a lot of basketball. And as you can imagine, you probably need a full neck to play those sports. And I can't perform the way I used to. And I think that's the key, is what you can't used to be able to do, okay, because of these service-connected disabilities. So that's one example with my neck. We'll let Laura get on to one of her examples and we'll press forward.
Yeah, so one of my issues is tinnitus. And I feel like almost every veteran can relate to this. So if you are service connected for tinnitus, think about all the ways that it affects you. For me, I've got endless examples, but I'm going to give a few. So sleeping. If your tinnitus is acting up at night and you can't sleep, if you have to sleep with the TV on, a fan on, a sound machine like a baby like I do, it interferes with your life and it interferes with your sleep. And if you have lack of sleep, that can really, really snowball into something a whole lot more than that 10% for tinnitus is going to compensate for. So this is that lifestyle impact of something like tinnitus. So and an occupational impairment for me was I used to work in the ER in the ICUs, and I couldn't tell if it was my ears going beep or if my patient was coding and flatlining. So it was a constant anxiety, and it made me feel like I was going absolutely crazy. And of course, you can't hear what's going on. That's frustrating. And really, the lack of sleep is a big issue. So any physical disability you have that causes sleep deprivation constitutes these mental health symptoms: fatigue, trouble focusing, trouble remembering, mood swings, all of that just from one thing or multiple things. So that's in a nutshell how tinnitus can really affect you. And socially, if people are talking to you and you're just nodding, but you don't know what they said because you just hear a beeping in your ear, it's frustrating. And then you want to avoid large crowds, parties, social gatherings. So those are just from tinnitus. You can have a big increase in your rating from something like somatic symptom disorder.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk about one more. It's a plantar fasciitis. 3 surgeries on my right foot, and still think I'm fully healed yet. However, when I first retired from the Air Force, I took a job that required me to be on my feet all the time. I was so excited for the job that I didn't know what it required me to do. So when I was on my feet all day long, I took a lot of breaks. There was times I just went in the office and sat down, and I was taking a chance of seeing who was going to see me or not see me. So that was occupational impairment too, as well. Social impairment with plantar fasciitis. Back to the sports stories, I can't play softball the way I used to be able to do. Can't work out the way I used to do. Can't run. And so the first thing I can't work out like I used to do, start to gain weight. When you gain weight, you get depressed. You get depressed, the people around you get depressed. Another thing that affected me with plantar fasciitis, and this is a true life story, is I was going to a lot of appointments. As I said, I had 3 surgeries. But this goes back to the fear, the anxiety, the depression of it. The anxiety in me was I was always worried that my boss was going to fire me because I couldn't be at work. So I was depressed, I was work. I was thinking, man, I'm going to get fired. And there's times I didn't go to my appointments because I wanted to work. So now my health's getting worse. But then I finally said, you know what, heck with it. I'm going to keep one of my appointments, and then I'm just always worrying about that. So that's where you can tie that in as well. Are you worried? Are you anxious about losing your job because of going to these appointments? So, yeah.
Absolutely. And another one that DJ and I both suffer from is headaches, migraines specifically. And if you have them, you know that they are completely debilitating. And I've missed work frequently for headaches. You have to go in a dark room and just do nothing, no lights, no sound. And sometimes for me, those can last over 24 hours and they kick my butt. And it's not something that you can easily deal with and go to work and function. in any job, whether it's a desk job, looking at a computer, or a physical job, migraines are rough. And sometimes you get a decent rating for migraines depending on how bad they are, but it doesn't compensate for you missing work and not having vacation days because you used all your vacation days for migraines. And it became a big frustration for me when I did work at the hospital. In the ER, it has to be fully staffed. And if there was somebody missing for a migraine, they didn't understand. They're like, you have a headache. You can't come to work because you have a headache. So then I would try to push through and I would get sick. And it's frustrating. So I think I hear an echo now.
Yeah, echo problem too. I look at the comments. I apologize for the echo. I use this room sometimes, so I'm not sure what's going on. I apologize.
We'll try to fix it, but I'll keep going with the migraines. But I know DJ has them too, and they're like the worst. They're the worst, and you can't function. And thankfully, in my job now, if I get a migraine, DJ will cover down for me and whatnot. But most people don't have that option. So if it's really affecting social things, I try not to go to social events because I'm nervous I'm going to be a buzzkill if I get a migraine. Things aggravate it, like roller coasters. I am like an amusement park buff, and I can't really go now because of my back and my migraines. It triggers things, and it hurts to go on those roller coasters. So occupational and social impairment are the things we'll keep circling back to because that's how mental health is rated.
Yeah, I totally agree. I have the migraines as well. They're frustrating. I have to just immediately go to sleep. I don't even care if I'm going to work or not. So, yeah. But I think I still hear the echo too. I don't know what that is, Laura. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Hopefully we'll figure it out, guys. But yeah, those are our biggest examples, and yeah, those are some big ones. There's a lot of other conditions like your back. If you have a physical job and you can't physically do it anymore from back pain, that was another issue for me. Even a desk job, sitting in a chair all day, I'm service connected for my back, and that kills me. So I asked for a standing desk at my last civilian job, and they made fun of me, said I'm too young to have because they judge you for that, even though young people, if you were in the service, they put you through the ringer. So it's frustrating. And then you're like, screw it, I'll just sit and hurt. But you don't have to suffer. And this kind of compensation can help with that kind of stuff. Buy your own standing desk with your disability benefits and get something taken care of if that's something that you're going through with. But what we're going to talk about next is kind of how to claim that. What are the next steps for that? So for any claim that you want to claim, you have to have a diagnosis. Have to have a diagnosis, or they're going to say that it doesn't exist, and we can actually help you with that.
Yeah, I'm going to try this again. I don't know. Let me know if it's still echoing. But yeah, we have a network of friendly board certified physicians. They're here to help. They're available in just about every state. They're going to get you what you need to get the process started. They're going to give you the diagnosis, the IMO, and they'll give you the nexus statement as well. So they'll give you those 3 very valuable pieces of medical evidence you're going to need to submit your claim to the VA. Hit Laura I up. As a matter of fact, I'll give you her website right now. If you can hear me, the echo is not too bad. VAbenefitsexpert.com. Write that down and work with Laura. She's a beast. She's good at what she does. If you know anything about her, if she doesn't get you the rating she deserves, she'll go get somebody because she's a grafter too. I saw the video the other day and she's scared. So yeah, please reach out to her. Please use her. She's amazing what she does, and she's helped me out a ton. And she knows I appreciate her. So yeah.
Awesome. And DJ is phenomenal at what he does too. He's being humble. And you can check his website out as well. He is, where did I put it now? I've got you though, but he's awesome. We're going to post his link below here in just a second. Let me get that for you guys. He's awesome. He's been with our team for quite a few months now, and he's been kicking it. He's killing it. He's awesome, and we're going to take care of you. We're going to set you up for success with our weekly office hours with both of us. We also have, like I said, those daily webinars on our team, so we can set you for success explain every step of the process and make sure that you're confident and prepared every step of the way.
Yeah, that's the key right there. When we're going to go through any process, please be prepared to put your time into, do the daily webinars, do your open office hours with your coaches. These coaches are amazing. They're full of knowledge. They're going to get you there. I promise you that. I talk to them daily, and I'm impressed at how smart they really are. That's right.
And his link, guys, his link is winningincreasesforveteran.com. It's a long one, but winningincreasesforveteran.com. So any team member that you're going to be with on our team is going to take really good care of you. But of course, we want you to sign up with us, especially if you're having these kind of issues. If you can relate to some of these symptoms and conditions, this is exactly the kind of claim that's for you, that lifestyle impact claim. But we do want to jump into a couple questions and see what questions you guys may have for us. So again, we're going to be looking down at our phones so we can see those comments and questions. So we'll try to grab a couple. I'll let DJ jump in there real quick.
I'm not seeing anything. The only thing I've seen is my echoing.
Oh, no.
Let's see.
I see some hellos. Hello, hello.
I don't see any questions here.
All right, let's just see. That's all on point. I just got denied. So if you got denied for something like this, SSD, somatic symptom disorder, is a secondary claim. So you do want to file it secondary to, like DJ said in the beginning, your service-connected disabilities. So it is secondary. So if you just claim somatic symptom disorder, they're going to say what caused it. It's not directly service connected, if it's not in your military medical records. And it doesn't have to be. You can have a diagnosis now because it is based off of what you're going through now with your service connected issues. So if you were denied, we can get you back on track with an appeal with some new evidence.
Oh, there's a question. Have you tried to put this under PTSD? Good question, Connie. If I'm not echoing, you hear me. Mental health is all one claim. PTSD and SSD is together as one mental health claim. So when you go get your diagnosis, you can be diagnosed for maybe PTSD and SSD, and you can go that route if you have to. Remember, mental health claim is just one claim when you're moving forward with that.
Right, because I was diagnosed with PTSD as well as SSD through our program. I was a client, so I am a product of VA Claims Insider, and I was diagnosed with both. And I filed for both, and the VA will just choose which one that they think is the worst, and you'll be rated with that. But all of your symptoms will combine into one rating recommendation. So if you have symptoms of both, you want to talk about both, and that percentage for your disability is likely to be increased, because it's really hard to delineate where one condition ends and another begins because they overlap so much. But you're going to have a little bit of both symptoms if you have both. I know that I do. So just keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to talk about any and all things related to your service that are service connected. And if that's PTSD, talk about those in-service stressors for you.
Yeah, Jeffrey Gowdy, talking about you need personal statement examples. Work with one of us. You got the website, shows it, benefitsexpert.com. Reach out to us, and when you go on our portal, we'll have plenty of examples. We have examples of the most personal statements and the body statements, and you can go look at those at any time. And any users can be with them as well. I always ask my clients to email their statements. We take a look over them, and we send back any evidence and what we can do.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. A lot of people just don't know where to start, or they're not able to get a diagnosis like this because their doctors don't know what it is, because like he said, it's kind of new. So we can make sure we connect you with the right providers who know how to write a nexus and hear your story and understand what you're going through, because we do have that vet-friendly network. So we'll make sure you're set for success. But we want you to write those personal statements and tell your story, because sometimes it sucks, but we want you to be vulnerable and really say what's going on, because we're, DJ and I, we both, we try to suck it up and not talk about our problems. That's that mentality that we have, but this is not the time. You got to be compensated, but in order to do that, you have to tell them, what's really happening.
Yeah, being uncomfortably vulnerable is not easy, but it's very, very, very important when you're going through this process. Every Sunday, 2 p.m., when Travis and I talk for a CP exam, one of us each week, we get uncomfortably vulnerable in front of all the people that show up. And since past Sunday, I got uncomfortably vulnerable about something I went through in front of 60-some people. And what we remind them is, if I can do it in front of 60-some people, you should be able to do it in front of one. And that's why Travis and I do that. That's why we step out of our comfort zone and we show them we can do it, so that helps them do it. It's something to keep in mind. Very important. Take that ego hat off, throw it away, open up.
Absolutely. So I do see a question. Do you have to have symptoms reported in your medical records? I don't know if that's one that we've discussed yet, but no. A lot of us, again, we deny that we have any symptoms, or we just live with it. It becomes our normal. So if you don't have a mental health diagnosis in your records anywhere, that's okay. If you have those service-connected physical issues, we can link it back, because it's obvious that if you're having migraines, you're going to have stress about it. I can't leave my house without my meds because I'm afraid I'm going to be stranded on the side of the road somewhere, can't see, and be stuck there, because that's literally happened to me before. So I have a lot of anxiety around my physical issues, migraines, tinnitus, my back. So it does not have to be in your records as long as you have those. But it does help if you have complained about mental health symptoms. But again, most of us don't talk about it because what do we do, DJ?
We just hide from it.
We hide from it. We suck it up. We stuff it down and we minimize it. So it's okay if there's nothing in your records. We can take what we got now and run with it.
Right. And she's exactly right. And remember, guys, when you're working with us, our providers are going to provide you with plenty of medical evidence to help make a decision as well. So remember that the medical evidence will provide you. I saw a couple comments about the total and permanent. Yeah, I think the one comment I saw is if you're at 100% or you're automatic total, and that's not true. You can be 100% not total, it's like me. 100%, I'm not permanent and total. However, we can help you get there. We have better we can file for and put you through the process of that as well. But we can get you there. It'll tell you on e-benefits if it's 100% permanent and total. If you need help, I can show you exactly how to get there and to see if you are PNP. If you need help, ask one of us, and we'll gladly get you there.
Yeah, you can always email us if you have questions. I'm Laura, Laura, at vaclaimsinsider.com, and DJ is?
D. Jones at vaclaimsinsider.com.
D. Jones. And DeMarcus says, DJ's made my process too easy. That's right. We'll lay it out A to Z, what you need to do to be successful. Lynn says, what claim are you discussing? I'm just joining. Somatic symptom disorder. And again, that's how your physical issues affect you mentally, socially, and professionally.
I didn't even know DeMarcus is here. It's good to see you. Thanks for the kind words, brother.
Hey.
It's always nice hearing that. Yeah, there's some coming in here. I don't see anything else right here. See the total and permanent.
So here's the question. My BSO said she saw a note in my file that said the reason I got 50 instead of 70 on SSD is because I never got fired from a job so that I can maintain a job. Just because you can maintain a job doesn't mean you're not suffering.
Correct.
And that's kind of a BS answer from your rater, from the examiner, whoever said that. I had a job. That doesn't mean I wasn't depressed as hell, and it wasn't hard to get out of bed and go to that job every day knowing that I had to sit my butt in a chair and hurt. And now I get to walk around in my pajamas sometimes and do my job from home, and it's great. But a lot of us don't have that option, and I feel so blessed to be able to do this and help you guys because I was in your shoes. I had a physical job in the ER lifting patients, and I was stressed every day going to that job, and I missed work. And if you have a job and you've had disciplinary actions or gotten in trouble for things at work because of your struggles, those are the kind of things you want to talk about. Put that in your personal statement, and we can help you fight for a higher rating, either with a higher level review or a supplemental claim. We've got options. you're not done, and we'll keep fighting for you.
Truth. I see one comment here, and this will relate to you, Laura. As a soldier, you were told to push through the pain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from the era that you didn't go to the doctors because you were called a name that I can't say on here, right? So you couldn't go there. You were a punk, right? You can't go to the doctors, or maybe something's weren't going to get a promotion or whatever it was. So when you're told that way, you're not alone. We hear that all too often from a lot of our clients. You're not alone. Don't let that stop you. Don't let that prevent you from going through this process and getting what's due to you, the law. Okay.
We've got your back. I can see a question. Sleep apnea secondary to my service-connected disabilities denied. What to do? HLR or sent to HLR. So there's options, but the big thing with sleep apnea and most claims is that nexus is super important. And what that is, if you don't know what that is it's that medical professional opinion that your issues were either caused or made worse by your service. So if you don't have that nexus letter or supporting documents to say that they're related, the VA is going to toss it because they want you to prove it. The VA knows that there's a connection between almost every body part and another body part and a system and another system, but you have to prove it or they make you work for it, and it's not the most user-friendly system. But we do have, like I said, a network of providers, medical and mental health teams. So let us know if we can help you guys with that too.
Yeah, Richard Velez just replied to your comment. That's kind of what Laura was talking earlier. This question is, can he file this SSD secondary to tinnitus? Absolutely, yes.
Every day.
Yeah, man, all day, every day. So contact one of us. We'll gladly get you to that. I saw another comment on there. Someone wanted to hear our emails again. So my email, djones@vaclaimsinsider.com. Laura, what's your email again?
Laura@vaclaimsinsider.com. It's an easy one, but I'm commenting these right now real quick while you answer some more questions. D Jones.
Okay, let's see here. Joseph, yes, 8 surgeries on your back. Oh my God, yes, hit us up, my man. Hit us up. Let us take care of you. I can just imagine the pain you're going through. I can just imagine social and occupational impairment you have. Oh, yeah, we take care of my man. Lynn, we just gave the emails again. Hopefully you got them. Let's see what else we got here. How important is starting a profile? How important is starting a profile at the local VA to help with your case? Well, I mean, let's just, first of all, we're here to get better, right? So we definitely want to be getting seen for our symptoms. Our ultimate goal is to get better with our symptoms. So I think it's important for everybody to get a case started and get seen for your symptoms, your conditions that you're going through. As far as with your case, I like to always tell my clients that the more medical evidence you can provide, the better. I know what you can't provide isn't going to stop us, but the more you can provide is going to help us. So that's the best I can answer that.
Absolutely. And yes, I see, you can try to service connect somatic symptom disorder secondary to any physical mental health disorder. Again, with mental health, if you already have mental health, it can kind of be combined, but you can only have one rating for mental health. It's called pyramiding, but it can be secondary to anything: tinnitus, migraines, plantar fasciitis, neck, back, whatever you got. If it causes you mental distress and occupational and social impairment, we keep using those words, you can file it. You can file it secondary, but you have to have that diagnosis, and that nexus is really important. So getting that independent medical opinion is really key for these type of claims, and really any secondary claim that you didn't have in service, to link it to your service or link it to another disability. An independent medical opinion and a nexus with a diagnosis is going to set you for success.
Absolutely. The key word to all this for success is occupational social impairment. I think my clients get tired of hearing. I have 2 open office hours on the week. I have one on Tuesday and one on Sunday now. And I bring it up every single time. You're probably tired of hearing me saying it. I'm pretty confident that's the road to success. So remember that. We all have stressors, we have events. How's that affecting us today? How you got to be able to remember to tell your story, and we're big SSD.
So I just saw a question, and I always like to answer this kind of question. It says, I get SSD and 60% VA, like to get up to around 80 one day soon, not sure about trying to go to 100%, don't want to be unemployable. It's not a thing. That's a myth. And I've done a video called Top VA Myth Busting. You can work and be 100% disabled. You can own a business and be 100% disabled. Look at all of us. So the only thing that comes with income limitations is if you specifically file for total disability individual unemployability. So that's IU or TDIU. And that's a specific claim. So if you get to 100% outright, there's no income limitations. But if you do individual unemployability claim, you are limited to below the poverty level. And I never suggest that unless you are like legit retired, you're not going to work again, you physically really cannot work again. But you can be 100% disabled and sit and do calls like I do, or 100% disabled and do a lot of things. It just depends on what your disability is for. That's a myth. So if you feel that you are deserving of 100% disability, if you feel like you're affected that much from all your issues, go for it. Go for it, and we can help you do that.
Boy, I'd like to add on something to that, but I can't. That's perfect. And when she starts pointing, start listening about I've learned.
I won't throw any bows here, but again, guys, if you want to work with us, DJ's link again is winningincreasesforveteran.com. He's awesome. He will make it easy from start to finish, and we want you to be successful. We've been there. We understand what you're going through, so let us help you through the process.
Yeah, and thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you learned a little bit of something. Like Dawn was saying, if we help one person, then we've done our job. Laura's amazing as well. She's helped me out a lot. So if I'm taking any compliments, people like her and on the team. But remember, benefitsexpert.com, Laura at VAClaimsinsider.com. Pleasure talking to everybody, and thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And we'll check the comments, try to answer any more questions that you've got. And if you have questions you didn't want to post here, again, you can email us. Our emails are down there, djones at VA Claims Insider and Laura at VA Claims Insider, and that's .com. But we'll see you next time. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and take care.
See ya.
Bye.